Hello guys, my name is Sydney Awar and welcome to my YouTube channel. And just before we start guys, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. And today's topic is gonna be very important. Please don't forget to share this video with your friends. And lastly, make sure that you hit that notification bell because guys, you're gonna be the first person to get that notification alert when I upload any video. So thank you guys for joining me. And guys, I know I took a very long time off my YouTube channel. I've been very busy, but I am back. And I'm gonna be, from now on, I'll try and be consistent at least with posting. So today I'm going to speak about IELTS. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. That's what it stands for. And it's an exam that has been used for a very long time to test individuals who, want to travel abroad, especially to the European countries, who want to study, who want to work. They've been tested using this system. And I don't know, probably they've found it to be working, and well, it's now embodied with so many different countries. So guys, I'll be speaking majorly to nurses who are in the process of doing IELTS, or who want to attempt it and they don't know anything about it. They've just had people say IELTS this, IELTS that. I'm gonna at least try and summarize it so that they can get something out of it. I'm not a good teacher and I'm not a public speaker either, so I don't know how my ideas are kind of flowing. I'm not very sure, and that's why I'm saying I'm gonna try and create a summary out of it. And if you get something useful or important from it, perhaps it can make you start from here as you continue getting information from other places. Okay, so IELTS is divided into 4 parts, that is listening, reading, speaking, and writing. We've got 2 categories again of IELTS. We've got general and academic IELTS. The only difference for me between general and academic IELTS is the writing part. The writing part is distinguishes the two, and academic writing, we've got everything is formal. Well, general writing, I'll say it's kind of informal because we've got the letter writing, I think in part 1, which of course is not the case to academic. So somebody asked me in my inbox about OET. Well guys, if anybody's gonna ask me about OET in the comment section, I'm sorry to say that I don't have an idea of what OET exams is all about, apart from the fact that it's also another international English language testing system that they're now using, and I've heard that it's now in Kenya. So if you want to know anything about OET exams, guys, there's so much information out here in the internet. You can either Google them from the Google website. You can come to YouTube and just look for information, because I'm very sure somebody somewhere just sat the way I did and spoke about OET. So guys, that aside, I was speaking about IELTS. Just like I said, IELTS is divided into 4, and we nurses, we are expected, before I say it, we've got it's got something called a banding system. It's kind of grading, so it's being graded in bands, and the highest band you can attain in IELTS exams is 9. It doesn't matter which IELTS you're doing now. The highest mark, or the highest grade you can attain from IELTS exams is a 9. So nurses are highly expected, they're kind of up there. They're expected to achieve 7/9. As an international nurse, you need to have about 7 in your IELTS exams to be for somebody to consider it as a pass, or for it to be for you to be able to continue with the whole process. I spoke about my journey to the UK in one of the videos, and I'll put a card here to just, lead you to that video if you want to watch more about it. So writing, just like I said earlier, writing is something else. Nurses are expected to do academic IELTS. Okay, guys, you are expected to do academic IELTS. So it doesn't matter whether you do UKVI, because we've got either academic or UK visa. It's UKVI stands for UK visa. So UK visa still got it's got the academic category, and that's whatever thing you have to pick. That's the exact thing you have to pick. Never pick the general part, because that is not yours. You need to do the academic IELTS. That's the first thing you need to have in mind when you're going to the IELTS website to book an exams. Okay, make sure that it's always academic IELTS. That's the category you choose from. So in this academic IELTS, we've got the 4 parts. I spoke about them. So the writing section has got 2 parts, the first part and the second part. The timing for this exam, the writing part, is 1 hour. That's 60 minutes. So the first part is 20 minutes, guys, and the second part is 40 minutes. So the first part literally is always about you analyzing things. They're gonna be putting some, bar graphs. They're gonna be putting some pie charts, kind of thing. So it's just an analysis you're doing. And for people who did geography in school or something to just do with the map work, I know that part is gonna be kind of easy, because it's something that you're just seeing. And anyway, you don't need to have done the geographies and everything, to honestly speaking. Now it's something that anybody can just do. You just see and report. It's like if a pie chart is drawn there, and it's divided into section, and it's like you always see the half part, and it's also colored and all this. Maybe you say, a quarter of this belongs to that, a half of this it's exactly what you're seeing that you're reporting. That's part 1 for writing academic IELTS. Here the only thing is you need to be very formal when you're doing this. It's formal. It's not a story. It's kind of like a story that is flowing, but it should be flowing formally. For people who are doing academic writing, I think this is the part that, I don't know, this is the part that you might exceed, beyond expectations, because it's quite easy. At the same time, it's difficult if you don't really go, or if you don't really abide by the rules. So another thing I want to let you guys know is that don't just go in with the mentality that this is an English exams, and because it's English exams, you think that it's something that you've been doing back in school, and you just go in and sit without, looking into it, without trying and, doing some of them. Because, guys, let me just be honest with you. This is just not an English exam. You need to sit down, have a look at different materials. You need to revise. In short, what I'm trying to say is you need to practice and practice and practice and practice until the time you'll feel confident to go and do these exams. Another thing you need to know is that these exams is expensive. It's very, very expensive. And the moment you start, I always tell people, the moment you start, even if you fail, you don't have a chance. It's not like you can go back and collect your money or something of the sort. So the moment you start this journey, especially when you start with the IELTS exams, that's kind of the start of everything. It should be a motivation. Even if you fail, you should just dust yourself and see, and see, look for a way of passing that examination. Because I don't think somebody will want to put in their 26,000 and above in an exam, fail it, and then just leave it at that stage. Because for me, that can't be the case, and that wasn't the case either. And again, it's not like I did these exams once, to have passed it. So I used over 50,000 for the exams because I had to resit it. I had to resit it because initially when I heard about it, I didn't know much about it. I didn't know much about this exam. So I went in with the same mentality that most of the people got, that this is an English exam, I can't fail it. If it's all about writing, I've been doing lots and lots of compositions, back in school. If it's about reading, I've done comprehensions, I've done all this, I've been reading and, answering questions. So you feel like these are kind of things, and if it's speaking, I mean, we've been taught in English, we've been speaking English, we've been doing this, and you feel like all this thing is easy. It's I don't know, somebody shouldn't fail, but I'm sorry to say that it's just not the English exams, it's got its own rules, and if you don't abide by those rules, that's when you fail. That's when you fail. And it's so sad, especially if you get a 6.5 and your desire or whatever you desire to get is a 7. It really hurts because you lost it with a 0.5, and 0.5 is this tiny. It's this tiny to lose your 26,000 and redo the exams, and that's my first failure. It was a 6.5. Like the complete banding, or the results that came back for me was a 6.5, and you can imagine the heartbreak I had. It was a heartbreak because I couldn't imagine myself going back to resit the exams, and exams that I thought was just easy, and then I failed it with a 0.5, which was even worse. And now I had to sit down and practice because I don't know, I just felt like if I did go back into the exam room and try and do it again, I didn't have that confidence. When I first went in, the first time I was attempting the exam, I had the confidence. It was this kind of confidence, giant confidence, because I felt it was just an English exam. But when I failed, I don't know, fear just came and conquered me, and I was like, even the second attempt, I was like, my goodness, I don't know, I'm gonna fail. I just felt like the failing kind of thing was just all over me. I was quite laid back. It was not, the same excitement I had when I was going in for the first time. Anyway, I'm not trying to scare anybody away. I'm just trying to tell you the reality of these exams, and it's not just an exam the way you think. Well, so where were we? We were in writing. Well, I said the first part is all about reporting about, the kind of graphs or anything you're given to report. So the second part now is about, it's kind of an essay. So I'll just give you an example of what kind of questions they might or they can ask, or they always ask. This is just an example. It's not something that they will ask and you feel like this is what Sydney said and this is what they will ask us. So it's just an example of what they ask in part 2 writing. So let me read it for you guys. Individuals can do nothing to improve the environment. Only governments and large companies can. Only governments and large companies can make a difference. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So it's an essay that you write about disagreeing kind of questions and agreeing kind of questions. So it's, if you look into it, if you go into the practical sessions, if you look into the materials about writing in academic IELTS, you're gonna find this type of questions. There's so many. I said I'm not gonna get into details. I just gonna be touching on different spots, on different keys that I feel like is very important for you to get. So these are the kind of questions you're going to get. Disagree, agree, to what extent, and you should know how to answer these questions, guys. You should know how to answer these questions, and this is now where you have to have a very nice thesis statement. So all this, again, that's why I'm saying everything needs to be formal, and that is the rule of this writing. You must have a very good thesis statement when you're doing your reporting about this essay. and you must also do some very good summary. At the end you can say, like, in summary, this is this and this and this that you meant, or to retaliate, this is this and this is what, that is it. It's kind of easy when you get the idea on how to do it, but it's gonna be difficult if you don't have an idea at all. So that's why I'm saying it's not just a regular or general, English that you think you know. So you must practice, guys. There's no shortcut for this exam. If you want to pass it, you have to sit down, make time for this, and practice, practice, practice. Until that time, you're going to feel confident to go and do these exams. All right, guys? Okay. That's the writing section. So, the reading section, again, has 3 parts. And its time is 1 hour also. So it's got the 3 sections: part 1, part 2, part 3. All of them are comprehensions. And guys, we've got different comprehensions. Sometimes you even get a very, very long, long reading that you need to read. And for me, I always say, because it's not you're only given like an hour, 60 minutes, but you're not timed off in those 3 parts. So it's just you to time yourself. And to start with, it's good when you allocate 20 minutes each to these 3 parts, so that it's 20 20 20, and that makes it an hour. And guys, when you're practicing, that's why I'm saying you must practice. This is why people fail, because they don't know that these things are being timed, and their time limit is this short, that before you know it, it's done and it's finished. So many people have been failing the reading part because they want to sit down there and read the whole comprehension and forget that they've got 2 more to read, because there are 3 of them. One can be long, another can be short, another can be long. And you guys need to answer the questions asked, after each and every comprehension. So it's quite challenging. So I always tell people the tactic that I used in this was oh, sorry about that, guys. I always tell people the tactic that I used in this was skiing. So when you've got like a paper, because when you're reading the comprehension, what you do is just run your eyes through the whole paragraphs and everything. It's just skiing. You just do this. And what I used to do, guys, I would go to the questions. I'll go to the questions against the comprehension. I'll just be getting the keywords that I'll try and locate in the comprehension. And you'll be very fast, because the clock is always ticking. So you kind of get the keyword and you back on the comprehension, and it's key. That's why I'm saying it's key. You don't read everything. You just get the exact words that you're seeing. And if you're doing the paper based, it's much better, because it's literally not even much better, guys. I don't want to say it's much better, because I didn't talk about that. That's why I said I'm not a very good speaker, because look at how I'm mixing up my ideas. Everything is just juggled up. I don't even know if you're with me, guys, or you're now getting all confused. I'm very sorry for that. So I spoke about general and academic IELTS, and then we've got another subcategory. You could either do paper-based or computer-based IELTS. I attempted both. My first IELTS was paper-based. My second IELTS was computer-based. So I know somebody will be asking me, what do you prefer? That's for another day. All right, so the paper-based IELTS. So you could just go skiing and getting the keywords for everything. So it's easier because you're allowed to have a pencil in. So you just draw where you see the keyword and the question. You just come back to the paragraph and just draw. Just line them, and then you'll come back and come very fast, read and see what's happening. And you'll always get the answer there. So just read the question, go back, get the answer, and that's it. That's it. Be very fast. It's all about running your eyes very fast through the paper. That's how you're gonna manage the reading, because if you sit there and try and read the whole thing, guys, you're not gonna make it. The time is not going to allow you. So that's for reading. Then we got listening. I think listening was kind of my hardest when I was starting, and it soon became my easiest. But what I think the best section that I ever loved was the reading part. I don't know, the reading just sank well with me from the word go. So the listening part, when I was starting, because it's out of 40, and I think you needed to have like 35 and above for you to get the band 7 in that listening part. So I think, no, sorry, 35 probably would be like a 7.58. I think it's kind of 30, 31, 31, 32, I don't know, something of the sort. I can't remember. It's been very long. And before, when I came to do this video, I didn't even research into it again. So it's something that I did long time ago. I'm only trying to recall what, you know, I can't remember. I'm sorry about that. So just like I said, it's just a rough idea to get you going, to roll your balls, guys. So I've done the exams. I'm just trying to remember whatever little things I did, yeah, to just help you. So listening, I think the first time, I don't know what I was listening to. I couldn't just understand it at all. I couldn't understand at all, because I used to get like, I used to either 20, 25, and I'll be frustrated, because I was like, what the hell is this speaker saying? What are these people saying in this conversation? And then the worst thing about listening, guys, is that the moment the listening starts, that's it. That's it. When it kicks in motion, that's it. So you answer the questions as it goes. You listen as you answer the question. So the instructions say that the audio will be played once. And guys, listen, it will be played once, and it is once alone. There's nothing like repeating. You can never go, when it starts, you can't even go back to say like, no, I didn't listen to this part. What did he say? What did she say? Oh, what are they talking about? I'm sorry, guys. It's start and that's it. Like, start and that's it. So listening needs full, like 100% concentration, more than any other thing. That's what I'll say. Because either, whichever category you chose, if you're doing paper-based or computer, with the computer-based, I think that's the best, because you've got your own computer and you've got your own headphones, so you'll be listening from the headphones, which is quite good. But if you've got the paper-based, it means you're gonna be in a room, and they'll put like a speaker, and because you've got lots of people in that room, and so you all be listening to the same thing and answering the question at the same time. I don't want to imagine that somebody is coughing there or something of the sort. No, let's just cancel the fact that somebody has been coughing and all that kind of thing. So that's it. You need full attention. Nothing should disturb you. You shouldn't even be feeling like you want to go to the toilet, because that's going to be another distraction. Oh my god, it's crazy. But, and you know, it's an exam also, so you've got your adrenaline running more than you can imagine. So it's crazy, guys. It's crazy, but it's something that has been achieved, and people have done it. And I did it, and I got about 9 out of my listening category. I scored a 9, so it's achievable. You only need to know how to do it, and when you get the flow, then that's it. That's it. You don't need any other thing. It's just, that's why I'm saying you need to practice, because you're not gonna get the flow if you don't practice. So it's practice, 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 practice. Practice makes perfect. So just practice until you get the perfection that you want. That's it. That's about listening. And I spoke about reading. I spoke about writing, speaking. Generally speaking, is speaking. I mean, I can't I can't put it on that, I cannot quote it or try and put it in another way. Speaking is speaking. Whatever I'm doing right now is speaking. The only difference is that I'm recording myself on a video, but the other one is audio record. So speaking, you're gonna have a one-to-one, a face-to-face kind of interview with an interviewer. Unfortunately, I'll have to call her interviewer, in tutor, I don't know, assessor, any of that. You're gonna have a one-to-one, a face interview with an assessor. And with that, I'll let you know, the speaking also has got parts. We've got section A, section B, section C, or part 1, part 2, part 3. We've got all 3 parts, and you it's timed like between 11 to 14 minutes, something of the sort, and you needed to speak for around 40 minutes for, you know, all those parts. So it's the assessor who knows how they're going to be timing you. Part 1 is just basic knowledge, everything. Tell me about yourself, tell me about your family. It's just a way to create, you know, that rapport, to make you easen, to make you, you know, get in with that flow, and, you know, just make your mind relax, so that you don't go in there and you're like, what's that you asked? Like, what? I don't know. Like, how is that? It's just a way to get you flowing and relaxed and everything. Like, what's your name? Tell me about yourself, about your home, your family, your brothers, your sister. I mean, can't you answer about that? You can. So it's just a way to relax you. Then the second part comes in. I don't know, the second section is always maybe about a topic. So there's a topic that is, you're given a piece of paper, like with a topic, and I don't know whether that's the third section or the second, but you're given a piece of paper. I think that's the second section. A piece of paper with a topic where you're given like 1 minute to read, and then you need to cram about that topic. So for example, it could be about traveling, yeah. So they're giving you maybe a paper to talk about traveling as a topic, and then the assessor will time you, and she'll be like, start. So you need to talk about traveling. So another thing you need to know is that speaking has got its rules, and just plain speaking is not going to take you anywhere. Of course, you're going to have some very good marks, 6 to 6.5, but what you need to achieve is 7. So you need to use a couple of interesting language, you know, kind of captivating, and you need to have vocabularies. The main part actually is having the vocabularies of whatever you're speaking about. If you're talking about traveling, I mean, you need, if you want to speak about, you know, using an aeroplane, you'll kind of use things like, you know, checking in, kind of use things like language, you know, the cabin crew. About the airport, you could talk about the runway, you know, things of the sort. The luggages, perhaps you could even talk about the taxi. I mean, if you booked hotels or something of the sort, maybe if the people came to pick you up. I mean, it's just, you know, brainstorming about, you know, the vocabularies you can use if you're to speak about something. Just kind of topic, if you were to talk about a topic, there are these suitable vocabularies that are always, you know, you can use them to spice up the topic, to spice up what you're saying. So those are the kind of things they're looking at. They're looking at how you're using clauses, how you use verbs. It's funny, but that's exactly what they're using. That's what they're looking into to kind of award you the 7. So it's easy. And then they're looking at your natural flow. How are you speaking? Are you speaking? Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Are you speaking the language naturally? Are you forcing things? Are you using a lot of time to think? Are you thinking out of the box? It's it's weird, but those are the kind of things they're looking into. So guys, I'm just giving you an idea of what is expected of you. So this is not an information that has been exhausted. You can always go ahead and look for more information from people, from teachers who know how to, kind of teach, or from Google. Google's got lots and lots of information, guys. You could always go there and gather some lots of information and see what you need to know. I'll say that that's all for now, guys, because I don't have much to say, but in summary, in summary, I've spoken about IELTS, which is an international English language testing system. And I said it's got 4 parts: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. I've also said with these 4 parts, we've got sections or parts again in them, like sub parts in different thingies, in these different categories. I told you again that you need to achieve a 7 as a nurse, as a band, to meet the requirement of IELTS. That is if you're coming to the UK. Oh, I'm sorry, I said whatever you get depends with where you're going to. So a 7 is for the UK, so you need to get a 7 in English exam for you to make it to the UK. What again did I speak about? Oh, I said, so you need to have like a 7 in speaking, you need to have a 7 in reading, listening. So 3 categories need to have a 7. Writing is an exemption where you can achieve a 6.5 and the overall band will still stand at 7. That's it. I almost forgot that, but that's a very important part for you to carry with you. So guys, I don't have any more things to add on to this. So it's been a very long section. I can see it's like 32 minutes, over 32 minutes. My goodness, this is crazy. So guys, it's been a long section, but thank you so much for staying with me, and please make sure that you continue looking for information. Don't just use what I've given you, guys. Go ahead and look for more information before you attempt these exams. All right, so everybody who wants to do IELTS exam, guys, good luck, and make sure that you practice and practice and practice, because practice makes perfect. So don't forget to share this video and subscribe. Bye.